How can you create a shape when more than one condition is given? In this lesson, you will learn how to draw a shape by using more than one condition. Let's review. There are certain words that you'll hear often when working with polygons. So for example, we have congruent, congruent meaning that they're exactly the same size, same shape. We have parallel, which means that the opposite sides run straight next to each other. We have a right angle, which of course is a 90-degree angle, and quadrilateral, which is a four-sided shape. So these are terms that you'll hear often, as well as other ones such as perpendicular and some other words as well. A common mistake is that when given measurements for a shape, it is often not realized that there are usually more than one way to draw that shape. So a lot of times, just because you're given measurements, it doesn't mean that there's only one way that you can create a shape or there's only one shape that you can create. Sometimes you need to check and see if there's another shape that you can create as well. Create a quadrilateral with two sets of congruent sides and two sets of parallel sides. So of course congruent, as we talked about in our review slide, is same size and same shape, and parallel means that the sides run next to each other and they run straight next to each other. So of course we're creating a quadrilateral here, which is a four-sided shape. There's probably numerous quadrilaterals that we can make with this. There actually is more than one type of quadrilateral that we can make. But in this case it says to just create a quadrilateral. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start just by showing you some congruent and parallel sides. So each of those sets are congruent and parallel to one another. So they're all same size, same shape, and they all run straight across from one another. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull some of these sets because I know that they're congruent and I know that they're parallel, so I'm going to pull them from their current location in order to help me put together a quadrilateral. So I'm going to slide one of these down, slide another set down, so now we have two congruent and parallel sides. I'm going to do the same thing here and here. So you can now see that we've created a rectangle with this. We also could have created a parallelogram as well, and we could have created a rhombus with these instructions as well. Create a quadrilateral with two right angles, one set of parallel lines, and two sets of perpendicular lines. So what I'd like you to do right now, before we even create the shape, is I'd like you to take a look at those characteristics and see if you can determine what type of shape we're going to be making with this. So think about it, and then we'll check as we go through and we can see if you're right. So again, we have two right angles, one set of parallel lines, two sets of perpendicular lines, and this quadrilateral. So it's a four-sided shape. So I'm going to start by creating my right angle, my first right angle, my perpendicular lines, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. So right now I have one right angle, and then I created another one up top, and then for my last line I'm just going to go ahead and connect those, and we see that we've created a trapezoid. And let's just double check and make sure that all of our characteristics are here. So does it have two right angles? It has one here and one here, so that's correct. Has one set of parallel lines, and that was really the giveaway for me. If it's a quadrilateral and it only has one set of parallel lines, then I know that that's a trapezoid, because most quadrilaterals have two sets of parallel lines. So it has a set of parallel lines here, and then does it have two sets of perpendicular lines? One here and one here. Yes, it does. So that ends up working out. We end up creating a trapezoid. In this lesson, you have learned how to draw a shape by using more than one condition.